Welcome to the LB Street Show, comrades. It's another one like the other one, basically. So today we got a video that's talking about Kanye and his little shirt, his little incident he came out with. His White Lives Matter shirt. And I wanted to respond to him. Kanye got a lot going on. So, just ride with me. And I'm going to give you a nice little breakdown for the boy, right? So, I understand that Kanye got that bag and basically it's kind of showing the company he keep. Trump, the Kardashians, and a lot of other weirdos, that's not from our culture. And, I don't hate on no other culture or nothing, but when he start rocking with Trump and them, I gotta draw the line, These people that's steadfast against blacks and against what's best for blacks. So it seems that money is really taking advantage of old Kanye. Seems like he going the Michael Jackson, O.J. Simpson type route, where he losing touch where he come from, and it happens. I didn't think it would happen to him initially, but the more, weirdo shit that come out, the more I see that it is happening with him. So basically, I have to provide some facts for Mr. West that indicates why there's a need for a model of Black Lives Matter and there's no need for a model of White Lives Matter. First of all, who decides what matters in the world or in this country, to be more specific? It will be the ones in power, right? It will be the politicians. It will be big business. It will be those who got that kind of influence, right? So, Mr. West, I have to ask you, who's been in power in the United States in the last 400 or 500 years? Can you tell me that? Have blacks been in power? Are blacks in power now? Yeah, I probably disagree with that whole premise right there. Yeah, we not in power. That's why you got people marching, talking about Black Lives Matter. But, let me not skip ahead of myself. So, those who write the laws decide what's important, what's the priorities, and what's not. If you're not in power, like blacks haven't been in power, then they're not writing laws for blacks. Now, they'll write laws to keep blacks in a certain space, whether it's the Jim Crow laws or whether, even going to the Dred Scott ruling in the Supreme Court, where it was decided that blacks weren't citizens, that blacks were indeed property, or the Constitution, which labeled black men as 3/5 of a man. So blacks weren't considered to be the equivalent of whites, right? And this was in black and white. So what happens when you're not considered to be a citizen is that your life is valued different than a citizen, which if you're just looking at the law, it's understandable. This person is a citizen. This person has more rights than a non-citizen, especially back in the days. So what that led to is a white person was able to kill a black person and face no repercussions, shall we say, because they was considered property. So if a slave master got mad at his property and beat him till they died or hung them, it was a property matter. That was his property. He could do whatever he want with it. Or if somebody else killed this white man's slave, then it was a property matter. He could sue him, and he'll have to reimburse him for his property loss. To kill a white man or woman or child, any of the above, led to you being hung, whether you was white or black. Especially if you was black, you ain't even have to kill him, as you could tell by stories, incidents like the Emmett Till situation. He was killed because a white woman said he whistled at her, looked at her. And there's plenty of famous stories of white girls wanting to have fun and making up a story of a black man looking at them or trying to touch them, and they'll go, the town to go lynch him. Find a black man and lynch him. And a lot of these lynchings, they happen with the police there, kids there, and they burn a black man or hang a black man in the middle of the town square. And people be out there picnicking and, laughing and taking pictures with the body. So it was no fear of any repercussions by the law. So black lives didn't matter. And I'm trying to figure out still what year, what decade, what century was it decided in the United States that black lives did matter. That's what I'm trying to find out. And I still haven't been able to identify when this has happened. So blacks had to take it upon themselves to try to sway public opinion to say, hey, our lives do matter. And going by the stats, the amount of time that you get for killing a white person is significantly, maybe double or more, the time you'll get for killing a black person. The likelihood of you getting a death penalty for killing a white person is significantly more than if it was a black person who was the victim. So, Mr. Kanye, I know you running around, doing your fashion and your boots and all that. Take a little bit of time to do some research, bro. Do some research and find out why people have to say Black Lives Matter. You don't have to say white lives matter, because what's understood don't never need to be explained. That's already ingrained in the United States culture. Just go out there and kill you a white person and see if it matters. See how quick you get to the courtroom, into the jailhouse. But hey, it's up to Kanye whether you want to educate yourself or not. Just don't be spitting this poison to the people, man. And if you believe that by you adopting these right-wing talking points, if you believe that you're going to be embraced by these people, hey, listen, that's what OJ thought. That's what Mike thought. Till they get tired of you, something happened, and then they gonna ostracize you. Then you're gonna try to come back to the hood, to the black community, and try to make it up. Same thing happened with old Stacey Dash. It's a bunch of weirdos that try to venture off, and then they stand to be corrected later on. You ain't got to do that, bro. Sell your clothes, make a couple songs here and there. Bro, that Trumpism, adopting that ain't gonna help you do nothing, bro. Them people ain't gonna love you no more. They might see you as a good jigaboo for a minute, but homie, it ain't worth it, man. You got your bag, homie. You ain't got to do all that, man, to be accepted, man. You already won, homie. That's more or less everything I got to say to Kanye. You know, and for all my comrades out there, we still in the mix, we still in the fight. Next video, I'm going to show some more about what's going on with me and law enforcement, quote unquote, the criminal justice system, which is the oppressor, prison industrial complex. And, I get into all that later on. Feds been on my line since I've been home. They mad I ain't pick up the bag again, get back in the streets, open up a couple of traps to trap me. I'm hip to it now, though. Back in the days I wasn't. So I was in the mix. But I'm hip to them. They can send all the rats they want, with all type of wild deals. They can send all these cats they get from back in the past, in my past. Hey, yo, I was locked up with you, man. Yo, you don't remember me? Nah, I don't remember you, nigga. Get up out. Well, anyway, I ain't gonna get into that yet. We'll talk about that in the next video. I hope that you enjoyed this one. Comrades, I say peace.